Yeah, so good evening to all the. Is there something fine? So welcome to this press conference for the Manohar Parrikar Yuva Scientist Award. We have with us on screen Dr. Anil Kakodkar, who you all know was the former chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission, and he is the chairman of the committee, the expert committee who will select the young scientists. I have on my right Mr. Anthony Dissa, a very senior IAS officer who was the former Chief Secretary of Madhya Pradesh, Goan by birth. He is in Goa now. I have on my left Dr. Satish Shetty, who was the former director of NIO, former Vice Chancellor of Goa University. He is also part of this expert committee. We have Dr. Sunil Singh, the current director of NIO, who is not here with us right now, but he is also part of the expert committee. So the government has formed this 4-member expert committee to select the young scientists. It's called the Manohar Parrikar Yuva Scientist Award for the year 2023. Now, the objective of this scheme is to encourage young scientists in the country who have achieved excellence in the field of science and technology, to encourage young generation towards science and technology, and to identify and reward talent in innovation and disseminate success stories. The candidates will be judged on 2 factors. One is the impact of the work done, and the second is a viable action plan for future research at the applicant's institution. These are the requirements. So before I proceed, I will request Dr. Kakodkar to speak about the scheme.
Well, thank you, Mr. Noronha, and thanks to all my colleagues on the committee, as well as all of you present there. First of all, I want to thank Government of Goa for this wonderful initiative. The Manohar Parrikar Yuva Scientist Award. I think it's an initiative to recognize young people who have achieved a level of excellence, and also, as Mr. Noronha mentioned, there is a potential for going further and making larger contribution by way of scientific research in the country. And I think even to conceive such an award is a significant event, and it looks to me that the Government of Goa certainly deserves to be complimented for this initiative. If I can make some broader remarks about the importance of such awards. See, India going forward, we have twin challenges, and both are very strongly linked with the technological progress that we make in the country. One is to be a technology leader, at least in the critical domains, or if possible in all domains which have large economic importance. And that one can become if our S&T capability is comparable with the best in the world. And that's one kind of direction in which the country must proceed, and that's where encouraging young people is very important. The second dimension is, of course, as the country grows, as the economy progresses, so also there is issue about growth of disparity. And we need solutions which will minimize the disparity while the economic growth takes place. And that means, again, technology which will bridge the different divides that we have in the country. And today, with digital technologies backed up by AI, ML, and technologies of this kind, I think a lot can be done to carry out this bridging. that's also an important domain of SLT where one can make contribution on the national scale. So I think there are a lot of young people very enthusiastic. They have done some very great work, and I do hope that we'll have a very strong response. It is already been put in the journals, science journals, media, and through the medium of colleagues present there in today's press conference. I would imagine that we will be able to carry this message further. The call for proposals from the prospective scientists has been put in the domain, and I'm sure you would have a copy of this call for proposals. As Mr. Noronha mentioned, my colleagues on the committee, Mr. Anthony Disa, Dr. Shetty, and Dr. Singh, they are also here. So they can also supplement these remarks, and also they can respond to any queries that you may have. So with this, I must return back to Mr. Noronha, expressing great happiness that we have a chance, I have a chance to be a part of this important endeavor. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Noronha.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. So if Mr. Disa would like to add a few points.
Actually, there is nothing particular to add now to what Mr. Noronha and Dr. Kakurkar had said, excepting that for this to be a really great success, and for us to choose the right person who has not only achievements to his credit but also has plans for the future in science research or innovation, technology innovation for the benefit of society, we would have to get the widest possible, applications from the widest possible cross-section of eligible young people. And we count on your, you see, advertisements will be given and all that is there, but we count on your cooperation to take this message to the widest possible audience. Because if applications don't come in the proper numbers and from the proper people, then we cannot make it a success. So we count on you. The 15th of September is the last date for bringing in applications, so we have more than a month's time, and we really look forward to the cooperation of the media to take this message to all young Indian scientists who think that they are eligible to apply for this award.
Now, I think both of you have covered just about everything that needs to be said. The most important message here is how do we get this announcement across the country, because this is an award for any Indian citizen, and we would very much like to see the better known institutions, organizations, technologies from across the country expressed interest in this award. We, under Dr. Kakurkar's leadership, we expect to rope in the best of our scientists to make the final selection, so that this becomes one of the prestigious Young Scientist Awards of the country.
Yeah, so before we end this, I will just give a very quick recap of last week. A quick recap. So, we celebrate Mr. Parrikar's birth anniversary, that's on 13th December every year, and we have a Manohar Parrikar Vigyan Mahotsav. It's a lecture series that happens at NIO and various other institutions across Goa. Most of the colleges in Goa, government colleges, we have eminent speakers who come. This year also we will do it, but last year, that is on 13th December 2022, the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa made this announcement that there will be the Manuel Parrikar Yuva Scientist Award. A scheme has been drawn by the Department of Science, Technology and Waste Management under the directorship of Mr. Levinson Martins, and the current minister, Mr. Atanasio Monserrat, who has been also very helpful, very cooperative, and he has also pushed this scheme forward. Through this medium that we are addressing right now, we look forward for a lot of scientists to come from renowned institutes like Dr. Shetty said, IITs, IISCs, etc., who will participate in this. This scheme is open to any Indian individual below the age of 35 as on 31st December of last year, 2022. It carries a cash prize of 5 lakh rupees and a citation that will be presented on this year's Mahotsav, is on 13th December of this year. We have to set, like Dr. Kaporkar has been insisting, we have to set a high standard. We ensure that really great scientific research work is appreciated and awarded on that day. And hopefully to all of you, we should be able to reach forward. Now we have made a small announcement that Dr. Kaporkar will open, or do we open it here? Yes. Yeah. Just one minute, okay? 1 second. Yes. Doctor will just unveil the WhatsApp.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
So if you have any questions, it's open. If you have any questions.
What kind of program are you planning to encourage the students to have a scientific temperament among the students of Goa?
Program in sense, see
Different type of programs among the school children so that they will have more interest in scientific way.
Okay, so now this is aside from this Yuva Scientist Award.
Yeah.
So we have the Goa State Innovation Council. Incidentally, I am chairman of that, right, under again DST. So we have an office or the secretariat at Don Bosco College in Margao, in Patorda. We do a large number of programs across the state. In fact, in almost every school, we have a program for them to understand exactly what is innovation, how it works. And we have got a young innovator award scheme that's given from class 5 to class 8 is one award, and class 9 and class 10 is a second award. And we have had a lot of projects that come to us from school children, school students, which is a program. Every year it gets better. This is the third year that we'll be having the program again. So in that way we reach out to them. The Innovation Council only prepares the roadmap for the ecosystem that we have to create. Eventually there are bodies like the startup that the government of Goa has got, or the Department of Science, or Department of Information Technology. They also have schemes for startups. But the innovation, like we said, temperament is created from class 5 to class 12 through the Innovation Council by doing this small program. The training programs, exposing them. We have a lab in Patorda College called a Tod Ford Jod lab, or a lab where they can go make, break, remake, re-break things, where they learn, with their hands, skills they learn. They learn robotics, they learn to do 3D printing, we got 3D printers with them. So that way their exposure is there, and schools from across Goa are taken there and shown, they spend a day, they learn. We target rural schools, a lot of government schools, we go there, we conduct programs there. So there's a lot of interest generated, but eventually it has to culminate into something bigger, and that will come out when we have probably the Goan from that type who gets this award. That will be the greater achievement that we have.
This is first award, first time.
Yeah, it's an annual award. The scheme calendar, it will be an annual award now.
And it's probably the highest, the largest prize money. I think also the Bhatnagar award also carries 5 lakhs, and this also carries 5 lakhs. So there is no larger, higher scientific award in the country in terms of prize money.
I have a question
Yeah.
which is not related to the award per se, but it is for Dr. Kapoorkar if he would be. Dr. Kapoorkar, I would want to know your views on the very regressive decision taken decision taken to exclude the periodic table, the Pythagorean theorem, and Darwin's evolution theory from curriculum in the school level by insert. If you have a view and if you would like to express your view on this particular issue, because it's very regressive for creating a scientific temper among the young student community.
Yeah, well, first of all, I am not familiar with the day-to-day happenings, and it's actually news for me that something has been taken out. Periodic table, of course, is a very important element of both learning science and important element of scientific progress that has been made. But I don't have full details about what has happened and what is the logic behind whatever has happened. So it's difficult for me to comment in very specific manner. But I can make some broad observation, and that is, the world of knowledge is expanding so fast. There is so much of addition taking place, and when we design the curriculum, education curriculum, obviously in the learning process of students, one has to make sure that initially we kind of get children to understand the concepts, at least the important concepts on which the entire edifice of scientific research is based. And then also, depending on the specific area child wants to go towards the higher standards or even in college, then we sort of go to the boundary, to go to the frontier of that particular subject. So within that time you have to cover all of it. And with the continuous expansion of knowledge, how you build that knowledge is actually a challenge before the educationist. And so it is quite possible that there must be some logic. And it can't be adding everything, so something has to be dropped. And particularly in new education policy, we are trying to be more comprehensive in the sense at the school level, in addition to science, we want children to get to know a lot in other areas, the humanities, the culture, the arts, the things in nature. So such compromises may have happened, and there may be opinion as to what is important and what is not. But I'm sure if the feedback is given, people will deliberate on that and come to right conclusions. But I'm sorry, I can give only general. I don't have specific information.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Do you have some program on the day of the award ceremony?
We'll prepare it. That will give time. This is time. This 30th of December.
Okay.
This is the program.
Any plans to kind of disseminate this with specific institutes like the IIT?
Yeah. That's already planned. We have made up email. We'll send across everywhere. There's a journal called the Current Science that also it is going to appear, I think, by another couple of weeks time. 25th of this month. We are going to, because if we don't spread across the country, we are not going to get applications.
Exactly.
So we will do that. And we will,
Especially some of the recognized research institutions.
yeah, and we request you all also to propagate this as far as possible.
Our reach is limited to Goa, so.
Yeah, any national newspapers if you can go there is good. And now it goes on social media, so that was WhatsApp will be.
Sir, participant will be judged on what basis?
Participant, in fact, there's two things there. There are judged on two things I just said earlier: the impact of the work done so far, the impact of the work done so far, and the second is a viable action plan for future research at the applicant's institution. So they are working in some scientific institution. But I think something you might add.
Yeah, the basic idea is we would like to identify excellence based on the work carried out so far. But even more important than that is we would like to see people who are going to continue that excellence, tradition of excellence, work in India and thereby become productive in India, thereby setting an example to others. That is the main objective. So there are two main criteria. First is showing excellence as it exists now, and then a promise of further research on similar lines to propagate excellence further within the country. So these are the two main goals of this award.
So is this award limited to particular branch of science or?
It's open to all branches of science and technology.
And space too?
Yes. And technology also. It's not restricted only to science.
There is a condition that he should not leave the country.
Well, if the second part of what I mentioned, the candidate will need to make a presentation before experts identified by this committee to examine the proposals.
The shortlisted applicants.
Shortlisted applicants, yeah. Now, the purpose of that presentation is to probe the candidate as to how viable the project is, how supportive the institution is for the completion of the project, and thereby creating confidence in us that the person is serious about what is being attempted, what is proposed for carrying out. So the committee, to the best of its ability, will identify those who are going to continue in the country and carry on a record of excellence which they have shown in the past, carry it on in the future.
See, in the plans for the future that he gives, he or she presents, it can be for future research, more research based on what he has already done, and he or she needs to research that further, in which case he will make a case for it, or it may be for an application of research already undertaken by him. How he will apply this for the social benefit or the national benefit. So it can be either of the two.
So only one award will be awarded, right?
Only one.
Per year. One per year. Maybe Dr. Kakurkar would like to comment on this point which was raised. Why exactly are we giving this award?
No, I think, Rashidi, you said it all. I don't need to say much further. But, yeah, the point is, as I said, hopefully we will be able to create examples before the society where people have done kind of demonstrated high excellence in doing scientific research or being very innovative in creating some development which has high impact on the society. But more important than that is this aspect that we would like to see the individual remaining active in pursuing that path of scientific research, technology builder. Again, number one, the definition of the objective, the problem statement on which the individual is planning to work, important. The strategy for going on that path would be important. And also one has to assess the credibility that yes, whatever is being planned can be credibly achieved. And once this is done, hopefully we will be able to set up good examples before the society or other young people who might want to pursue similar pathway in their own area of research or pursuing their own scientific ideas. So, award, of course, idea is to recognize excellence, that is the first objective. That will be achieved, but also create a larger motivation and interest among the other young people who pursue similar level of excellence or for that matter exceed the level of excellence that what they must have. So that's what I would like to say. Thank you.
I have one more question for
Yeah.
I have one more question for Dr. Kapurkar. Yeah. Doctor, what is your take on artificial intelligence